Minutes are in our packet. We've all had time to study it. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second. Any questions or further comments on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Financial reports. Questions, comments to anyone for Fran?
Move that they be accepted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Reports and comment period. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I'll just start with that. We told everyone that the Westmoreland Fire Department had their annual installation of officers. They asked us to be there to install the officers. And about half an hour before the meeting, they asked if I would make comments. So I did. I had to scramble real quick to put some comments together. And then the sheriff was supposed to do the installation of officers, and he taught Congressman Whitman to do it. So, and then the sheriff said he would give me a lesson on how to
And by
delegate.
comments, he was the keynote speaker.
Yes.
And he did a marvelous job.
Yes, he did.
Oh, thank you. It was
Yes,
really
he
fun.
did. Yes, he did.
Mrs. Vice Mayor?
I don't have anything.
Okay, great. Anyone from Town Council?
I have a quickie comment from last year, basically. I wanted to recognize, Mr. Henson was in here, recognizing him for the outstanding help that he provided in getting those signs out, those
Nice.
plaques out for the park. Because of his help, we were able to do it in record time. Professional
Nice
job.
to hear that.
Well,
Thank
thank
you
both
again.
of you.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
were in the right time, right place. I was reading, I worked for the county for 6 months. Oh, we was all cutting. Hey, myself, need some help? So, not today, I mean, it's supposed to do, you know?
Sweating bullets.
Pleasure.
Sounds good, thank you. Town manager report?
I think that I gave you a report that was in your file that mentioned that I met with our staff to talk about the budget needs for the coming year, so we're pulling some numbers together for that. I did attend the Westmoreland County Supervisors meeting on the 10th and reported of the changes in town council structure and the new seats that were filled. Mentioned about our water break that we had and how quickly it was fixed, and thanked the people that were involved in making that happen so quickly. I reported on our new leak detection portion of our new meter system to show that it's starting to give us signals as to leaks that people have, and we've been able to contact them right away and make them aware of those. I did thank Sheriff Balderson for the additional traffic safety sign. He got a grant for that, and so I wanted to let him know that we were very grateful for that. And then I too attended the fire department installation banquet, and it was a very nice evening. So worked with Matt Tanner, our IT guy, to if you remember last month, you approved the backup system so that we can eventually start scanning and so forth. And so he has installed that, and it's there and ready to go when we get ready to start doing that. We had representatives from our meter company out of Dallas. They were here for a week, as well as LB Water, who is the supplier, who was kind of the middle person between us and the meter people. They were here for a number of days working on meters, kind of helping Christy get to be familiar with the software and so forth. So we had them here for close to a week. And then I visited each bank to set up our signatory powers and so forth. And so that's all in the works, and that's my report. Sir?
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Fran?
The, one quick question, the leak that occurred, that was wasn't related to anything old because that was part of it. All of the system is new now, right, underneath?
This was the old system.
The old system.
The road repair leak, yes, that's on the old system.
Okay, that's what I was curious.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you. I'm going to shift gears a little bit and go to public comments before we start the action items. Are there any public comments?
Also, Larry Henson, District 3, also last month, about, excuse me, business in town, they had the blue and red light. Well, I thought it was a good idea, but every time I come into town, we'd be thinking, oh, police might slow down. You know, it's the nature of the beast, you know, but, I understand with the regulations, well, I guess in town, lights on. Can you have like yellow lights there? Would that be all right, like caution lights? Yellow, something like that, would, you know, was a
Yeah,
more pros to it than was cons, I would think, you know.
yeah. By code, he could have left the lights on, it just can't be flashing.
Oh, okay.
So the code defines animated as flashing,
Okay. All right.
so,
But I do think a number of people had told him that the colored lights was distracting, thinking that it was law enforcement or some kind of emergency vehicle, so I think he took that to heart. As far as I know, he's turned them
Oh,
off.
you have to turn it off, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a good idea, because slow down, sit down, you know.
yeah. And actually-
Immediate time where the sign says 25 down, you come up the hill, this is Women's House, you know, of course, everybody's cruising along, so you get that point, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know, but, hey, you know, I understand, we're working, thank you.
Any other public comments? Hearing none, we'll move to action items. Appointment to open cancel seat. So, this cycle, after individuals in town heard that there was an opening on the town council, 3 people started entertaining the idea about becoming council members. 2 of them really wanted to do it, but had conflicts at work and schedule and things like that. So Fran is going to send them a really nice letter thanking them for their interest. But it's really important that we keep that they know how much we appreciate that, because, you know, there'll be times that we need council members. When it comes time for me, we'll need someone, you know, anyone. No. But it was really fun to see that we had that much interest. So the one that we have that stands out is a young man by the name of Darren Lee. And I'll share that even though we're in an open meeting. Darren, if you recall, a few of us should, Mr. Watson should, he did the rendering of the park before the park was done and made some recommendations. I'm not sure if you
remember that.
But he's currently working for Northern Neck Electric. He's actually a draftsman, draws things, and he lives here in town on Jefferson Street. I wanted to say some good things are coming from Jefferson Street. Bobby came from there, and Bobby Barker, the 2 Bobbies, right?
Right.
And then Darren lives on Jefferson Street. Fran has included his resume for you to review.
Yeah.
We think he would be a really nice addition to the town council. And the appointment we make, and then it's ratified by a judge, and then that'll give him a couple years until the next general's election to be elected. So we did talk to him. We followed some other localities and asked him a few questions about background check and things like that, so that we would know going forward that he's qualified to serve, and all that's good. So he says. So, what's the pleasure of the council?
Well, it certainly looks very qualified. So I think it would be a good choice.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
I just want to make a quick comment before any motions. I also, based on his resume, and I remember his presentation, it was a good presentation, with respect to ideas. I think you, looking at us, he would be a good asset. That's something that's needed, I see on this resume, it's needed in the council that I have experience with. So, if we need a, make a motion to,
Yeah.
I recommend, well, I'll make a motion that, Mr. Darren Lee be, become a member of the council here, in the vacant seat that we have.
We have a motion?
Second.
Second? Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Mrs. Whitman?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Hooks?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Watson?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll notify him and let him know that it's done that. So thank you all for doing that. Appointments to Montross Town Planning Commission. Leonard Carlson. Time for that reappointment. I'll take a motion.
I so move.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Just want to add the great job that he does, and I say that multiple times sometimes, but he's such an asset when it comes to the code and helping with things and planning out things. So we really appreciate his leadership and the Planning Commission and everything that they do. Thank you. Reappointments to Board of Zoning, Carolyn Reiner.
I move that she continue on
Do a motion?
the planning commission.
Okay. Motion?
Motion. Second?
A motion and a second. Thank you. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We have a need to go to closed session to,
We have, you want to go ahead and introduce?
Yeah, it happened after the agenda was done.
That's
So
fine.
we
No
have
problem.
the revolving loan
okay, gotcha.
committee met to approve a request from Boulder Neck Brewing Company to replace their heating system. So it was approved today for $35,000, which is a 10-year loan at 3%, and it was unanimously passed by the committee. So council just needs to also approve it, and he can order his unit.
Very good.
Is that a roll call?
It will need a roll call.
Need a motion?
Can I make the motion?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay. No,
absolutely.
I'm
You
on
can
the, I'm on the
vote.
committee, I didn't know.
You can.
I move that we approve the $35,000 loan from the revolving loan committee.
Second?
A motion and a second. Motion's open for any further discussion. Hearing none, we will do a roll call vote. Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mrs. Whitman?
Aye.
Mr. Hooks?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Watson?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion passes. Thanks for taking advantage of it. That's there. That's what it's for. It's for the businesses.
And I would just say, I really appreciate the fact that Montross is here to back us up, and from our concept, the town has always supported us, and we really appreciate the backup. It helps, it really helps a lot, and
Good.
we just want to continue to do what we need to do to make Montross a good thing, so.
Good.
I think we're glad we're here
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
Yes.
thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you. Yes,
May I
sir.
have a comment?
Yes, sir, you can.
So glad that Butch and his staff and employees, everybody do a good job over there. The food's delicious, entertainment is awesome. So,
It is.
Butch, if you ain't been there, you go, man. Everybody, you know everybody knows what's like. So, this small town venue, and Butch, you do a great job. And Butch will work in time, and man, yeah, I work all the time.
It does.
I mean, man,
I blow the horn every time I go by and see him there.
man.
I see it, but-
Thank you for all you do.
Yep. All right, thank you. We'll need a motion to go to closed session.
One more thing.
Oh, okay.
You had asked me to put the
Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
the
Yep.
greenery,
Yeah, so, I've been, asking Terry a couple of things about some of the projects, and, there are some things that are left over that need to be done. And one of them is an email that you have. And there's a need for $1,000 to do the landscaping, shrubs, and trees for the parking area. It is a requirement. I understand. I had a lot of questions about the size of the parking lot because it looks like it cut it down real small. And I guess after talking to Fran and talking to Terry, there's a reason for that, to have that green space. And now we got to put some green space in there that's required. So I'm assuming, like you, the first question I have is, why is that not covered by the ARP fund? So I guess we're over the amount that we have, and this is something.
Well, the ARPA funds are gone, so we exhausted those. So if we had used this for our ARPA funds for this, we would have just paid for something else out of general fund money, so,
Right.
or the park money, so.
But what we did talk about is going forward on projects, we're going to do a simple business plan, a pro forma, if you will, and try to list everything, because it appears to me that we could have included that in those funds if we knew what it was going to be. So with a business plan and including everything, we could have added that right to that list to get those funds.
Terry had started a conversation with Tim Sanford, who also did a lot of the landscaping at the park. We had the trees taken down at the parking lot, and we talked about needing to replace something along there. So that's what this bid is for that stretch between the adjacent building and our lot, and then also wrapping it around the back, almost over to Aaron's property. It includes the type of shrubs that he has there. My only comment was, if we could look at something possibly that might flower or have some color to it, as opposed to just a greenery hedge, I'd be willing to check in to see what options there are. We also at one point talked about fencing in the back as opposed to a green fence is what this would be considered. It's going to take a while for this to grow up and camouflage anything, so fencing might also be an option. So, but this includes plantings along that strip between the parking lots and around the back.
What's the pleasure of the council? So this will have to come out of the discretionary fund that you have. So are we still in there? We have a balance in there to cover this?
There is, well, we also have $16,000 in the park fund, which I think it could be used for that. I would consider that partially park area, regardless. We have the funds there for sure.
Do we have all the funds covered needed to cover the paving?
Yes, that's already been taken care of.
All right.
That's why the ARPA funds were exhausted.
Gotcha.
Yes, we had to cut those checks before the end of the year
Yep.
to meet that threshold, so.
So I assume these, the shrub greenery will not be replacing it with the same tree types that came out of it, that was removed
Yeah,
because it, that's kind of like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah, exactly.
But would you pretty much want these to be evergreens of some sort?
She was saying possibly, because if you get something flowering,
May not
most
be.
likely, right, yeah, it may not be.
And that's what this is for the evergreens.
Mhm.
But you could talk to Tim probably, and some of the ideas you have about it probably.
Well, they're probably not going to plant them in February or March anyway, so should we table this to next month and research what kind of shrubs we want to put in, or go ahead and vote on it and then just go find whatever we can?
I know there was a concern before with the dance studio behind there with kids coming up and down there. If that was going to be a safety issue with the street being there, I'm not sure we want anything really high. That would, I mean, I think it looks nice and open now. It's perfectly visible coming in and out of there now.
That's why I was thinking more of a shrub rather than a taller tree, or some of the evergreens get kind of tall, but I haven't met or talked with Tim, so he may have some other thoughts. But we could certainly table this for another month or so, and get some more information in the meantime.
Sounds
Talk to
good.
Tim, get some other ideas, maybe even price a fence just to see them.
Yeah, I did have Brian go and measure it today, so we know
Okay,
distance-wise
all right,
what that would take.
all right, that's a good idea. We'll table it to the next meeting, and we'll do some more researching and get back for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before I move on? So we'll need a motion to go to closed session. Thank you all. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
take
you.
care.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Let me get one of my plates here. I make a motion that we adjourn to closed session for the purpose of contracts discussion per Virginia Code, Section 2.2-3711A29, discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds.
You need a second? I'll second.
You have a motion and a second. Motion's open for further discussion.
Okay, good night. See you next time.